What's going on, YouTube world and YouTube tribe? Welcome back to LilBigMan Gaming. Got the title on my shoulder. You know what that means? That means this is a review. This time for Monday Night Raw. But first things first, I can get everybody to hit that like, subscribe, share, and hit that notification button. Also, leave a comment down below what you thought on Monday Night Raw. Yeah, for those who are not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. What are you waiting for? Your tribal chief demands that you acknowledge him. Acknowledge me as the only YouTube channel on YouTube that can entertain you. Acknowledge me by hitting that subscribe button, doing all those great things, and becoming part of the tribe. I demand that you become part of the tribe and hit that subscribe button. Smash it right now. Acknowledge me. Or if you want to, I do little stuff like that to entertain you. But those who are subscribed, thank you, love you, appreciate you. I'm ecstatic that you gave me this opportunity to entertain you. Yeah, we just gotta go 450, and I just need everybody to smash that subscribe button, and let's get this thing popping. We almost there. We almost there at the major goal. We know what the major goal is. The major goal is 1,000 subscribers. But right now we focus on the little goals. But with that being said, all I need you guys to do who are subscribed and not subscribed, just if you don't want to subscribe, at least help out just with watching, liking, and sharing. And if you are subscribed, just continue to do that as well. Just like, watch, and share. But that being said, let's get into it. That was a long-winded intro, by the way. I'm sorry. Yeah, we started out the night with the Hurt Business cutting the promo, which is you thought everything was all fine and dandy because they came out in nice little suits or whatnot, but it turns out everything is not okay in the land of the Hurt Business. The Hurt Business is actually imploding right now. They're actually imploding. This whole promo was basically about the recent failures of Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander, and before Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin had a chance to talk, Bobby berated them and running them down about their recent failures, how they lost the tag team titles, and how they had a 2-on-1 handicap match to take out Drew McIntyre, and that the fact that since he screwed up and failed, now he got to go outside the family to get the job done. And they basically was like, okay, now what you guys got to say for yourself? But throughout the whole time, Shelton Benjamin and them looking like, did he really just bring us out here to berate us and blah 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 this and blah 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 that? Like, they look like, I know he ain't just bring us out here to do that. And they even tell him like, we could have just did this in the back. You didn't have to. You really just brought us out here for that? Like, we could have took care of this in the back, but you wanted to bring us out here, and berate us, and I guess Shelton Benjamin started getting heated, so now he's trying to get in the face of Bobby, but Cedric is trying to hold Shelton back, even P like, hold on, calm down, this is not, but then it just exploded. Bobby would end up, I think he took out Cedric. I think he took out Cedric first while Shelton was dealing with MVP, and then they went to fight, and then it just imploded from there. Cedric would get ran to outside the ring. Bobby Lashley would end up getting into it with fighting with Shelton, and then they would he ended up seeing Shelton running too. And he would pick up the mic and tell Cedric and Shelton, as far as you two concerned for the Hurt Business, it's over for you two. He didn't say it was over for the Hurt Business, just over for for Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander. Because he basically was saying they was embarrassing and was tarnishing his name and brand. We get a little funny little Matt Riddle segment with Titus O'Neil, thinking that Titus O'Neil was hosting a roast for WrestleMania, when he was actually the host. And when he tried to explain it, he was like, "Oh, you the host roast of the co-host roast of WrestleMania." That he was just Titus just like, you know what, I gotta go Yeah. We'll get the first match, which will be Riddle versus Shaymus, which was a good back and forth, but a surprise end. It would be Shelton. I'm not Shelton. I said Shelton. Shaymus. It would be Shaymus who would get the finish on Riddle. I think Riddle would try to set up for something, but Shaymus reversed it, took the bro kick, and pinned Riddle 1, 2, 3. He went to celebrate on top of the turnbuckle like he usually do, but Riddle would flip him all over onto the outside of the ring, yell at him and saying, "You gonna get yours." And you know, he still was upset about the attacks he suffered from Sheamus. Sheamus attacked him in the back before the match and before the match could start. Yeah. Then we get a little like I can't say this enough to you guys. This promo with Shaymus, man, was totally unnecessary. Like it's just me, but I felt like I didn't really need it. We have enough heat as it is. You know, he could. It was stupid. Like I expected him to come to cut a promo to keep talking Braun, but what the promo consisted of was just unnecessary to me. I could be wrong. It could be what it was actually needed, but to me, that was unnecessary. Like it bored me to sit there and watch him run down Braun's supposed report card and all that. I was just like, oh god, yeah, whatever. Please let it be over soon. But yeah, and then this would break down to where Braun comes out, and it would lead into the next match of the night, which is the second match of the night, will be Braun Strowman versus Jackson Riker. I gotta say I haven't seen Jackson Riker wrestle a lot because I didn't pay attention to him his time at NXT, and then his time on the main roster was so short thanks to that controversy that he had with the whole Twitter thing. But from what I did, I was impressed with Jackson Riker, but he would end up getting beat by Braun Strowman, as we thought. And the main juice of this segment was the fact that Braun would reveal to Shane that he was like, "You remember that you said we could have any match, you know, we won and you would beat me, right? So I took you up on that offer. So at WrestleMania, we're gonna have a match where you are goons and you can't escape. Your goons can't get involved. You're gonna actually have to fight me and beat me to win, and that's gonna be a steel cage match at WrestleMania." I kind of thought he was gonna say Hell in a Cell, but he ended up saying steel cage. We will get another segment that I kind of, just like this one, I kind of sort of didn't like just because it felt unnecessary. Was this whole, and I know it was coming because they announced it last week that this week they was going to be premiering Hey Hey Hop Hop, the Miz TV segment where they premiered a little music video making fun of Bad Bunny. We're really not going to talk about it too much. It was a stupid. I really didn't pay attention to it. It was stupid, but it did lead into Bad Bunny and Damian Priest coming out, with Damian Priest and them basically telling them they ain't really appreciate the whole Hey Hey Hop Hop. And Bad Bunny basically said it in Spanish. I might be wrong, but he said it in Spanish. And Damian Priest translated that at WrestleMania because the Miz was like, "What did he say? What did he say?" You know, demanding to know what he said. And Damian Priest was like, "He said at WrestleMania he's going to make you his." So, therefore, yeah, so that pretty much was that. He got mad and tried to get out the ring, getting Bad Bunny's face. But Damian Priest got in the way. But Damian Priest was like, "You know what? I don't need to protect Bad Bunny because Bad Bunny can handle you on himself." So he was like, "Hey, you want him? Go ahead. You know, do what you do." And he went after, he was like, "Oh yeah, now you don't got Damian Priest to protect you." So he went to go get in Bad Bunny's face, but Bad Bunny hit him with a right to put Miz down and staggering, and solidify that it's gonna be a fight at WrestleMania. We had a backstage promo with Randy Orton basically vowing, is saying that he knows what he has to do, how deep and deranged he has to go to defeat and destroy and get the Phoenix out of his life once and for all. the one that I did like about it was no stupid black goo gimmick, no stuff like that. Like, I won't say it was stupid, it just felt unnecessary for Randy Orton's character to be involved in something like that. We would get Bobby Lashley versus Shelton Benjamin, which was a good back and forth match, and I actually was surprised that he actually held his own and that he actually was able to make the match look legit, and just instead of, okay, yeah, I'm just waiting for Bobby Lashley to beat him. He actually looked like at a couple of times he could have beat Bobby Lashley himself, but Bobby Lashley would power out, dominate Shelton and put him in the hurt lock to get the submission win and solidify that this is the end of the hurt business for Shelton Benjamin and Cedric. Cedric was at ringside too. He did get involved a little bit, and Bobby Lashley chased him up the ramp a little bit. But yeah, it will be. I think Cedric has his match next week with Bobby Lashley. AJ Styles, yeah, I don't know if I mentioned it, but after that segment, I forgot. I don't know. I think I might have not mentioned it, but after that whole segment, at the beginning, I forgot that Shelton Benjamin and Cedric went to find Adam Pearce, and they basically told Adam, we want a match with Bobby Lashley tonight for Shelton and me next week. As Shelton, Cedric, Alexander wanted Bobby next week. They wanted to teach him a lesson, but I think Adam was like kind of hesitant about it, and they was berating him like, oh, you try to protect him like you do Roman on the SmackDown brand, but they, with all the insults, they basically got him to agree to the matches. That's what would lead to the Bobby Lashley versus Shelton Benjamin match. We did get a little promo. Another promo that I kind of could have dealt without was the AJ Styles, and almost like it was stupid. Like, it was like, it wasn't even like almost was trying. That's what made the segment even more stupid. It's like he didn't even try to answer the question to make it seem like he knew AJ to get the questions wrong. It was just like, I'm not answering, I'm not doing anything. Like, but then the way he delivered it. We don't need to do all this. And then I do like the fact that he was like, I don't need to do all this to beat you, to get the tag team titles. All we gotta do at WrestleMania is beat them and take the tag team titles. So I did like that, how he even announced that this whole thing was stupid. But this will lead into AJ Styles versus Xavier Woods, which was a good back and forth match in itself. I actually enjoyed this way more than I enjoyed the little promo. But almost, at the end, it looked like AJ Styles might look like he was in danger of getting beat by Xavier Woods. So almost was trying to drag AJ out the way, but it would get Xavier Woods frustrated. So he tries to go after Almost himself, which would cause a disqualification because Almost would grab Xavier's foot when he tried to kick him, and the referee was warning him to let go of the foot, don't do nothing. But he got mad and flipped Xavier over the ropes, and which caused a DQ, which gave Xavier the win. But he would go on to commence destroying Kofi Kingston, and then he destroyed Kofi Kingston in the same way he destroyed Xavier Woods so many weeks ago. He basically threw his Kofi into the little area with the little screens out that had the people, that got the actual people watching from home on it. He would throw Xavier Kofi over there, and he would proceed to like basically double-handed chokeslam, I would call it, or double-handed powerbomb, whatever you want to call it. He would proceed to do that to Xavier Woods twice before standing him and AJ standing tall over Xavier Woods. We will get another backstage promo with Alexa Bliss explaining that how the Fiend wasn't dead, but he was just trapped thanks to what Randy Orton did, and that at WrestleMania they just basically want to. They basically was going to kill the Legend Killer. And the burnt thing was there too. what I want to say. I was going. I don't know if I mentioned it, but quick, just side note. That Shaymus, when Shaymus beat Matt Riddle and set up for a title match at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental Championship. Just a side note down into the video. We would get a backstage promo. I don't know if I mentioned this too, that it was a, if I did, this is just, sorry for mentioning it twice, but it was a promo, it was also a promo at the beginning with Drew McIntyre when he was interviewed about the bounty on his head, and he just warned people that if people came after him, they was gonna get a good old fashioned Scottish ass kicking, and that nobody wants to cross Drew McIntyre. But this would lead into this promo backstage segment where Drew McIntyre basically frustrated and angry that still nobody yet had went to claim the bounty. He stormed the men's locker room, basically demanded that somebody come try to take him out, and that if this was the Drew McIntyre of old, the young Drew McIntyre that was back in the beginning, his first time around, he said. And if somebody was offering the WWE Championship match to take somebody out, he said he would have dropped his ass. He said he would have dropped his own ass the moment he walked through the door. So and I'm like, that was cool. He even announced that he would have. He's not saying he wouldn't even took that he would have been above taking that offer. He said he would have dropped himself as soon as himself came through the door, if it meant getting that WWE Championship opportunity. And so he's the man. He went on to Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman's telling him, like, look, when I get done with Shaymus, man, then I'm going to come find you. You going to know when I come knocking for that opportunity if you come out of WrestleMania as champion. He even taunted Drew Gulak and the others. Drew Gulak looked like he wanted to fight, but he ended up tossing Drew Gulak. He's demanded that somebody step up and take him out to get a championship opportunity. Ricochet ended up being the one to step up and say, "Hey, I don't believe nothing about Bobby Lashley or MVP, but if it's a fight that you want, it's a fight that you'll get." So that was set up for that night. Then we get Sonia Blazer versus Naomi. And that match was okay, but it broke down to chaos because you had Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke at ringside, Lana at ringside, Nia Jax at ringside. Nia Jax would end up getting involved one time too many, and Lana would go try to help Naomi by getting rid of the distraction of Nia Jax, and Nia and them would end up fighting, and it looked like Nia was trying to do the Samoan drop on Lana, but Lana would get out of it, slip behind her, and push her accidentally into Mandy Rose, was causing Dana Brooke to get it. Looked like it mostly hit Mandy and caused Dana to get up and beat on Lana. And then Lana, she would pick up Lana on her shoulders too, just like Naomi, Nia did to Lana, but Lana would end up getting on the ring apron and kicking Dana Brooke down. I think Sonya was trying to go after Lana, but ended up getting rolled up by Naomi to get the win. I think solidified that it's going to be at least a match at WrestleMania. I'm thinking it's going to be like a fatal 4-way. I think it's going to be at WrestleMania. I think it's going to be Sonya and Nia defending the titles against Lana and Naomi, Natalya and Tamina, and maybe Mandy Rose and Dan Brooke and some more people. But it's going to be a triple threat to a fatal 4-way. We will get the contract signing with Asuka versus Rhea. For Asuka and Rhea at WrestleMania. Both women just basically, like a contract signing is, they both just stated how one's going to be dominant at WrestleMania over the other. But it's Asuka word. Like, I think Rhea went first, and then she signed the paper. Asuka was signing the paper, and then berate Rhea for being overconfident, and Rhea was like, "Yeah, maybe I am, because I was confident enough to come out here and challenge you to a match at WrestleMania. Now I'm confident to be out here to tell you that I'm going to take that title from you and become the new Raw Women's Champion." And Asuka said that overconfidence is going to be your downfall, and that you're not ready for Asuka. And she said some more things, and then Rhea would get mad and flip the table over onto Asuka, which looked like it hit Asuka in the mouth and hurt her. We will get a reappearance from Nia and Sonya, berating both of them, berating Ripley for having the rookie and audacity to come out here and demand a championship match and not before basically stepping in front of people who's been here. They feel like they've been dominating the women's division for over a year on both brands, all the brands, and now that they should be the ones who got the match at WrestleMania and not Rhea. And Sonya said, especially with everything I've done to Asuka, she knows that she should have gave me or Nia the opportunity. But Nia will make a challenge to Rhea, saying if as the Empress of yesteryear could find her way up from underneath the table, that we challenge you to a match at next week on Raw. And she did Rhea's little stump that she do when she come out. We'll show you what brutality is really all about. Then we would get the I think Rhea accepted the match on the behalf of her and Asuka, which was funny. Then we would get the main event, which is just Drew McIntyre versus Ricochet. That was a good match in the back and forth. Drew took it to the limit a little bit, not all the way, but a little bit by Ricochet. But Ricochet would take too much time setting up for the 450 splash. He would go for the 450, miss because Drew got the wherewithal to move out the way, and when he got on his feet to turn around to go back after Drew would hit him with the Claymore to turn him inside out and get the 1-2-3 pin. But then he would get attacked by Mustafa Ali, which would set up another match. This was like a 2-match main event. They would set up another match because Mustafa tried to claim that opportunity to take him out, while Bobby Lashley was backstage watching both matches at that too. So hoping that somebody would take him out. But then the match was started. It was another good match. Mustafa actually put some hurt on Drew McIntyre, and we see that the rumors for Mustafa is true, that he is working injured because now he got like a knee brace on. But he still held his own. He's working through it. He ended up giving Drew a good run, but it ended up being a quick squash for him too. And Drew McIntyre would beat Mustafa, which would lead to Bobby Lashley coming out because after Drew beat Mustafa, he basically called Bobby Lashley out, telling him to come do it himself. And they would go to as Bobby was coming out. As Bobby was basically coming out to brawl with Drew would get jumped from behind by none other than SmackDown's own King Corbin. And King Corbin would basically would beat on Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre did fight valiantly, but he was already going to 2 matches. It was too much for him. And King Corbin, it wasn't even a match. King Corbin just basically jumped him and beat him up. But Drew McIntyre did try to fight back, but then it was just too much. He took 2 end of days, I think. And then Bobby Lashley would come up and pick the bones and put him in the Hurt Lock and beat him up himself. And they both would taunt him. And I'm guessing this might. I think his rumor has it that he's been moved to Monday Night Raw now, King Corbin, to I guess be another member of the Hurt Business. I don't know. We'll see how this develops. But that is all I got. If I would have to give this episode a grade, I would give this episode a 7.5, just 7.5 big ups, just because it was a good builder to WrestleMania, but it just had a lot of segments I didn't like. I didn't like a lot of segments in here. Like I didn't care. It was too mean to go back over, but I didn't care for them, and I could have did without, or they could have restructured them better. But it still was a decent episode. Yeah, that's all I got. If you could do me a favor and hit this button right here for all of my wrestling reviews. You hit this one to subscribe on my channel, or hit any one of these amazing videos for more of my amazing content. Peace out. See you later with some more Watch Dogs and Assassin's Creed videos. Chief out.